Or do I use it?
Right here.
Oh. Wait.
The arrow, yes, let's go forward.
Okay. So hi, my name is McKenna White. I'm going to be a senior this year, and I did the youth tour, so I'm an alumni. Crazy, I know. Okay, so as you notice, these things are themed out to be the color of our shirts. So as you see, we were wearing pink that day. Crazy. So this was Friday. We got to check into our hotel in Washington D.C. It did start on Thursday. So we went to the Crown Plaza, and then the next morning we went out to Washington D.C. So we checked into our hotel on Friday. We had a co-op 101, which basically we got to eat pizza and then sit around the table with different people, and we got to do a workshop on the 7 cooperative principles. So my group had, I think it was the member economic participation. So my group came up with a presentation to show, because we had to present our principles to everybody. So my group did the knot. So basically we were we're hanging on to each other and getting a knot in, and we had to get out of the knot. So, and basically we were trying to show that everybody has to put in something to make the cooperative a better place. And then later on that evening we got to visit the Jefferson Memorial, Roosevelt's Memorial, and Martin Luther King Memorial. And didn't have time to charge my phone, so I only got a few photos out of that. Here are some from our electrical co-op. Here's one of them I met from Pima, and her name was Morgan, and she was really nice. But she was in my group. And so this was the day we put our legs to work. Yup. Yeah. You already know, got them leg days in. Okay. So we went to the Arlington Cemetery, which was really, really interesting. I was really, really trying to look for Ira Hayes, but I couldn't remember the name, and I felt really, really bad. And then I texted my brother, and then the moment we left, he texted me, and we were already on the bus, so I was like, okay. We went and had lunch at the Fashion Mall, which was new because I've never been to the Fashion Mall, so that was pretty fun. There was 4 levels to that place, and there was elevators and escalators, and I was mind blown. The National Cathedral was probably the one that stood out the most to me during this trip, because I didn't go at all, so this is my first time going to the National Cathedral. And it was really interesting because we had a tour guide, and he was explaining about the flag. So as you see in the photo right here, there's flags, and I think each week they switch a flag for the state, and they pray for the state that week, and they just send prayers to that state for the whole week, and then they switch to the next one. So I thought that was really interesting and cool. They were stuck in Alaska that time, so they were praying for Alaska. The U.S. Marine Corps Museum, that one was I didn't go to that one either, but that one was really interesting too, because then there was this really, I did cry a little bit, because there was this display on dogs, on service dogs, and they had this, I think they had at least 9 of them in a circle, and they talked about what happened to each and every one of them and what they represented and stuff. There was one with a black and white dove on it, and it's symbolized I think the white symbolized purity, and the black one, symbolized this the tragedy to it. So that one was pretty cool. And then we went to the reflecting pool, and then the World War II and the other memorials that we went to. I think we did have a tour guide for that one. The Lincoln Memorial, I like that one because it's a big guy. I took pictures at the Arlington, and then this one was also from Arlington. It was the changing of the guard. They did have other ceremonies besides the changing of the guard. They had some representing the middle schools over there, which was really cool. Then I think that was overtaken at the World War II one. Yeah, and then that's next to the cathedral that I was talking about. Okay, so Sunday Fun Day. We went to Mount Vernon, so we got up early that morning. It was a really early morning. The home of George Washington. That one was really exciting with the people that I was with. As you can see, took a jumping photo. Landry's photography skills. They're a fun group. I like them. It was really fun meeting other people. The thing that stood out the most of this trip is that I kind of just like met a lot of people, and it was really fun. Yeah, and then we went to the Washington National and Arizona Diamondbacks baseball game, and they gave us jerseys, so we repping. I'm right here. I had to use I had to use a photo from that Landry took, because the other photos that they took and posted, someone was blocking my head. So I don't know why they would take the best part of the picture out. So that was fun. The baseball game, it was fun. I mean, yeah, we were cheering for the D-backs, but there was a lot of Nashville fans that were really heated during that game. So every time we cheered, they would turn back and like this. What are you doing? You know, it's like, see the shirts. And so, yeah, and one of the sad parts is that my friend Cora, she lost her phone. Like we went to the bathroom, she left her phone, and then we came out, and then we had to run back in, and then her phone was gone. So we spent a little bit of time like looking for it, but I was also watching the game. But she didn't find her phone, but she ended up buying a new one the next day. But the thing I did not miss and that I loved the most was probably the racing. We had like the president's racing, so it's like those big bobblehead guys like that run. So I got to see George Washington take the gold. And then after that, we got our photo shoot at the White House. As you see, this beautiful ladies over there. Which was really fun. We got to take pictures, group pictures with our co-ops, and we just got to take other photos. This time I got to be a little bit more closer to the White House. On my last trip, they kind of blocked it out, so we had to like stay all the way back. But after that, we went to Dave & Buster's. Had a pretty okay meal there. But the games were really fun. Me and my friend Cora Grace, we got those little like kazoo like lip things. So we were like messing around with them a lot. Then we were like doing this like tap game where you're supposed to like watch your speed. So me and Cora were like over here looking like maniacs. We were like, and then we were like screaming, and then everybody was just looking at us. And then another game is that we did like the little like wheel thing, so see how many tickets you got. I got like 50. We still like went like little kids were just like, oh my god, we got 50 tickets. What do we do with that? And I was like, I don't know. Then later on, we had like over, I think, 500 tickets at the end of that night. Because we bought more tickets. We bought more like tokens on our card to get more tickets. So we were little kids that day. It was really fun. So exploration, inspiration. So we had our youth rally. So this trip had like 43 states in it, and there was about probably like 6 or 7 that were there at that youth rally, and we got to hear speakers. So some I remember was probably like Michael Schlappy and Wallace Bass, also known as Bubba. And their speeches were really, really good. I really did like this youth rally because it had like presentations that you never really like hear from them. So like for one example, there was this lady on talking about how people like some countries don't really like have like electricity. So she was like helping people around, and like she had this one construction worker come up, and he was talking about his job and how he like helped like communities get electricity, but she also helped people like get into college too, because she was presenting like their phases and talking about their story and how she helped them like improve and overcome their situations. So I thought that was really cool. Michael Slappy, he was a gold medalist in the Special Olympics. He is paralyzed from the waist down. He got shot by his one of his best friends when he was like probably like a little younger than my age right now. But he was talking about how his life how it changed when he lost his 2 legs, and he was also making jokes on the side about it. So I didn't know whether to cry or laugh, but it was pretty. I liked him. He was a nice guy. So I got, so at the end of the rally, I was like, Cora, we have to go take a photo with him. And he was just like, yeah, I'll be over here selling my books. And I was just like, all right, bet. So I was getting ready for my stance on why they're like saying, okay, everybody can go. And I was like, and then I hear Leanna and Landria, they're like, slow down, what are you doing? Like, cause they thought that we were gonna like trade buttons. So we were racing to other states to get buttons but we weren't. We were trying to get a photo. So I had to apologize to Leanna on that. Bubba, his presentation, he was talking about his life and how it changed, and I think he was one of the head of the youth council. I'm pretty sure. I kind of forgot what the title was, but I knew he was. I know he's the top youth candidate for us. I met him a little bit of I think the first day. And I actually thought he was one of the people from another state until I saw him on the stage, and I was like, he's older than us. So that was fun. I got to take a photo with him later on. And then we went to the Smithsonian museums for a long time. So I got some cool photos, and I'm the only one from Kansas because I live in Kansas. So my friend thought it would be funny if I stand right here. So I didn't understand it at first until I read the whole thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm down in Kansas. And then we went to the Natural History Museum, which was the one with the dinosaur and the marine biology stuff. But I like marine biology, so I thought this was really cool because it's plastic. It's made out of plastic. There's the turtle that's made out of plastic. There's a jellyfish, and there's a bunch of corals and stuff. And they use that into art. So I thought that was really, really impressive. I didn't think that a display like that would be in there until I saw that. Then later on, I went into the Native American Museum, and I liked this one. I was reading about it and stuff, and how we never gave up and we still live in our traditions and culture. So that was pretty cool. And I got some nice earrings from that place. Yep. I didn't wear them today, so I didn't want to flex. And then later on, we went to a river boat cruise, and we had a dance party on one floor, a game night on the other one, and then we had you can just look at the ocean and stuff. It rained. It rained before we even got on the boat, so everybody was drenched. But little did everybody know, I bought a sweatshirt from Mount Vernon that was really, really comfortable and layered. So I was wearing that, and I was just standing in the rain like this, and I was undefeated. I didn't. My hair wasn't wet. My makeup wasn't. Everybody else was. All of my friends were just like, my makeup doesn't look that bad, and they're right here, and I'm like. But I was fine. Okay, so then we had our dance party, and I love to dance, so I was in the circle most of the time. A lot of people did not know how to dance, so whenever the beat dropped, all these people would just jump, and so I was just and I was getting it was bumper cars because I was getting pushed over, and then you felt the boat move, so everybody's going one side and then out the other, and I was like, I'm gonna fall. But yeah, I got to be in the circle. They were playing Beyonce, so I had to be in the circle. Then I had to crank the Soldier Boy too. So then we went to game night, and I was playing spoons, which I became a champion during that game. So that was pretty. We took the gold that day. And then we just, the night ended really, really well. It wasn't raining after that. And seeing the old town, it was in the old town at Alexandria, so you got to see, the lights turn on. So it was really pretty when we got on the bus. Okay, and then we had more discoveries. So we got up to go to the Capitol, and we got to tour around the Capitol. And we also get to eat breakfast in the cafe, which was pretty fancy, in my opinion. I got to see the Library of Congress. I've been to the Library of Congress before, but I've never got to see this room. So when I got to see it, I looked down and I saw people that were wearing our shirts, and I was like, how did they get down there? So I didn't go down there because I didn't know how to do it. But my friends were just and then I saw a couple of my friends down there too, and they saw us and they were like, hey, and I was like, so you didn't tell us to go down there with you guys. So I just never got to see it until probably, I think the next day I did. The Library of Congress was really, really fun. I really do love the Library of Congress. I like to see it because it has when they call it the Library of Congress, everybody thinks there's books in there, but they don't see books until that room. So when you look in there, there's amazing paintings on the walls and how it's really beautiful, but you never see a book in there. So we got to go in the Botanical Garden, which is my favorite place, one of my favorite places, and I got to see my favorite plant, and I'm not licking it because it was gonna poke me. So I really like the Botanical Garden. Yeah, it is one of my favorite places because there's different areas. We went to the tropical forest, the desert, the medical plants, the endangered plants, and it's really beautiful. I like how they did the setups in there. I got to see a papaya tree for the first time. Interesting. Then later on, we went to the 9/11 Pentagon Memorial. It did take a lot for me to actually walk through it without crying, because it's one of America's tragedies, and it's really hard to just face it with a straight face and go in, because as you get into there, there's little statues in there, but they're set up by year. So goes from my friends went from the oldest to the youngest, and I forgot how old the oldest was, but I remember very, very vividly how the youngest was. It was a 3-year-old right there, and there's just one 3-year-old. So that was really, really sad. And then we got to have some downtime, and we were meeting people from other states. So in the hotel, we kind of just went down a floor, and they were playing a game of volleyball. So I got to meet people by playing volleyball, and then we were trying to get to a certain number on passing it, because we were counting, and everybody kept on messing up. And then there was these 2 guys from Texas that were just doing this with the ball. And then I was and then there was another one that was just doing this. So that kept on messing us up. But I also got a lot of buttons that day too, because me and my friends, when we see some person from the other state, we're running. So some of these photos of the Library of Congress, the display in the inside, the Botanical Garden, really cool. And then I'm pretty sure this one's from the Smithsonian Museum. That was when we had it was during segregation. So you heard about that group of students sitting in in the white only spot, and and they got attacked. So they had a whole video about that. That's it was really good. And then this one's at the top of the Capitol. So we went to go tour around the Capitol, and we had like a really really funny tourist guy. Like I think he was funny because he was acting like it was like he like lived there like all the time. He's just like, yeah, he was like, that top of that mural up top, yeah, it's just like, it's like about a basketball court, no, it doesn't really matter. And he was just like, yeah, I only go there like once or 3 times a week, it's no biggie. And I'm like, you said it's the size of a basketball court, like. And then he was like talking like it's just normal for everybody to see. So I was like, yeah, as you see there's George Washington in the middle. Yeah, and I was like, okay. But it was really crazy, like the tour, like they had headphones. Like we were given headphones and like we had like a little box so we could like, and he was talking to us like in his microphone so you could hear it through the headphones. So when I was close to him, I just said, hey guys, and then everyone was just like, he didn't get mad at me at that time until you know I told everybody to follow me on Instagram. Okay, so this one was the importance of politics day. So I got to meet the legislator at the Capitol, and I got a photo with him. And when he was talking, he asked if any Navajos were in there, and Landria, he raised her hand, but then I raised my hand and he didn't see me. So I was like, oh. And then everybody just looked at me and it was really embarrassing at that time. But he got to talk about how he was just like, you know, he was like helped his community, and he was like visiting the Navajo Nation and helping them. And he like got to talk, we got to ask him questions, so I don't really remember word for word what I said. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with like college, on how like he got there. But yeah, he was really nice. I got to get a photo, since we got a group photo with him, I got to get my solo photo with him. I look really bad in that one, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Get this PowerPoint to fill up. Okay, so we went back to the Library of Congress, and you know, I got my photo taken, so I have a little library card that says I went to the Library of Congress, so it's pretty cool. And it's expired in 2020, so I'm probably not going to be there. So yeah, I got my library card. I had to fill out this information. I had to show my state ID, and then I had to take a photo. And the guy that was taking my photo, he didn't really tell me when to get ready, so I was just like this. And my eyes were closed, so I was like. So yeah, that's my library card. Well, I can take another one if I go back. So then we went. So we went to the Library of Congress, got my library card, and then we went to the Holocaust Museum, which was really, really sad. Me and my friend Cora Grace, it was just me and her because the group kind of like spread it out, and we lost them because there's a lot of people there. So me and her got to like tour around by ourselves, and it was really sad for both of us because she cries more than I do. So when she cried, I cried. So then we were just like walking around with tears in our eyes. And I did not post a picture on here that talked about there is like windows with a bunch of names on them, and it was like windows of all the names of the people that died and stuff, and it covered the whole like windows to like the area. It was like a little bridge walking to the next display. So that one I liked that one, and then there was like a big room full of old pictures of all the victims. And then one of the ones that I kind of felt really, really like uncomfortable in was probably like the torture probably displays, or like what they did with them. Like they gave it like they talked about like the gas room. So like when they put them in the gas room and stuff, and there was like a door display, and then there was like bunks. And then there were some videos that, you know, like little kids can't see, so they had to cover, so like it's like somewhat covered. But then they also say like to your discretion advised. So but the room that got me and my friend the most was probably like the room of shoes. So it had all their shoes, and she pointed out like the smallest little tiny shoe, and that's when we both started just bawling. But we made it out. We made it out pretty strong. We went to the gift shop because she wanted to go get something for her mom. But you know, the Holocaust Museum, that was the first time for me, and usually in like at the beginning they give you like a little card with like a child or someone's name on it, and you have to see if they survived. And so mine survived but lost her father and her 8-year-old brother, or like 5-year-old brother actually. So that was really, really sad. Then we got into the bus and drove all the way to the museum for our farewell event. So the museum happens to be one of my favorite places because I love photojournalism. So our farewell event was like a cocktail party, so it had like all this fancy food. It had like water bottles that came in Voss. So everybody thought like the sparkling water was like fancy, but it tasted so gross. Like I didn't understand why people did that. So I just had the still water. But as everybody started to notice that the sparkling, like even though it's fancy, doesn't taste good,